700 Paycheck Protection Program loans, and fielded thousands of requests regarding emergency funding for small businesses. All this said, we are an organization that truly cares about our borrowers and our small business community. If you'd like to learn more about our programs or what we do, please visit us on our website or feel free to shoot me an email. Thanks so much for having me. Hopefully we can meet in person one day, and enjoy your session.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Denver Startup Week. This may be your first session, or maybe you've already been to some other sessions. So if it's your first one, welcome in. If you're coming back from another session, welcome back. My name is Michael Ostro. I'm the MakerTrack chair, and I'm also a member of the Denver Startup Week organizing committee. If there's one thing that 2020 has taught us, it's bringing community together. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, sitting at home, being isolated, like I've definitely learned a lot of things. And I'm sure that you've learned a lot as well. But as a Denver startup community, we've learned that bringing people together is of utmost importance. And one of the biggest things that we strive for is creating a safe space to learn, grow, and connect. And that's regardless of gender identity, gender expression, race, ability, sexual orientation, and any combination of those identities. Make sure to check out other MakerTrack sessions. You'll see the little wrench icon when you're searching through sessions, or just search for any sessions that really interest you. During the session, make sure to use the chat during the session, like ask questions, but just be engaged, and we'll have someone that's there to help give feedback and answer questions along the way as well. So thanks again for tuning in, and let's get the session started.
Hello, and welcome to the What Can We Learn from Young Makers session. My name is Maite Wantwari. I am the Youth Biz Director at Young American Center for Financial Education. We have such a great session awaiting for you today. Today, as you all know, makers come in all shapes and sizes and even all ages. I am so excited to have both some youth and some young adult entrepreneurs joining us today to share some great insights about the Denver's Makers movement. So in our panelists today, we have Hannah Doolittle, we have Julia Doolittle, Andrew Kurtz, and Maile McManis, all young youth owners of some really great business here in the Denver community. They will highlight the key tools and resources in the Denver community and beyond that have propelled them to the next level as makers. So hi everyone and welcome. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll just love for you all to just introduce yourselves. We'll start with Hannah and just telling us your name, your business, maybe how long you've been in business, and a quick little brief story about your business and how you have excelled.
I'm Hannah Doolittle. I'm 11 and I run Simply Denver Soap Co. I started my business about a year ago when the all-natural soap company we used to buy soap from went out of business. I decided I was going to make my own soap that was all natural, handmade, and scented with essential oils.
That's awesome. Thank you. Julia, how about yourself?
I'm Julia Doolittle, and my business, Olaf's Dog Cookies, has been around for a few months, and I started my business when I started walking dogs, and there's this one who's super picky. He doesn't like treats. He just spits them out into your hand, and it's really hard to train him. So I decided I was gonna make him dog treats that he ate and you could train him with. And so eventually I came up with a recipe and now I sell them.
Hi, I'm Maile McManis. I'm 13 and I'm the owner of Sewing with Smile LLC. I started my business when I found an old sewing machine in our basement. I started by only sewing for myself, but I got so many compliments that I decided to make a business out of it.
Hi, I am Andrew Kurtz. I run A Designs. I sell personalized cards and stationery. I started my business last November. My family's always been interested in crafts and making cards, and my older sister got a smart cutting and drawing machine a few years ago, and I found that in the basement, and I decided I wanted to try to do some stuff with it. And so I started making cards, and a lot of people liked them. And so then I also started selling them.
That's so great. Thank you so much for that introduction. So now you're all young entrepreneurs in elementary, middle, and high school, correct? Awesome. So just a question, and this question, anyone can basically answer this question. How do you think that your age affects your business success? So as you answer this question, if you wouldn't mind telling us how old you are, and then kind of letting us know how that affects your success.
I can go. I'm 12, and I think being 12 affects my business when I'm at marketplaces, because people want to see a young entrepreneur succeed. They want to support my business, and they want my business to grow and to be successful. So it makes it easier for marketing in person.
Awesome. I think, Julia, you had your hand up?
Well, I think my age affects my business. Oh yeah, I'm 9. By sometimes, since I'm like a younger kid, people don't always take me seriously. Like if I'm going to a marketplace, if I'm trying to get into a store or marketplaces or stuff like that, people don't always take me seriously. They think I'm just some kid who wants to make some money and they're just going to give up on it. So that's kind of hard.
Oh, that's interesting that you all say that. So I guess I'm assuming like Andrew and Miley, some of those, maybe you guys also have some of those challenges as well. And how do you overcome those?
I overcome them by, I prove them wrong. So I have a resume that I will show to any marketplace that I want to sell at. And I will give them my resume, which includes like what I sell, how much I've made in the past year, and all those details about my business that could help me get a spot in that marketplace.
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying. I think it's important to carry yourself with confidence. And if you give them the impression that you're not confident, then they're a lot less likely to turn you down. But if you really prove who you are and what you sell is quality, then I think people are a lot more likely to work with you.
Awesome. That's some really great advice there. Thank you for that. So what has been the most beneficial thing about starting your business at such a young age?
The most beneficial thing about starting my business I started it when I was 11. I'm 13 now. When I started it, the most beneficial thing was it was something cool that I could tell people about, and I have started saving money since I have started it, which has allowed me to purchase some more of the items that I could use for like fun. So it gives me more opportunities because I can pay for my own stuff now.
Anybody else?
For me,
Yeah.
For me, it was that I don't have to pay bills. I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to buy a house. I don't have to feed myself. So if I make a couple mistakes along the road, it's not a huge deal. I just get back up again and try harder next time. It's not a big deal if I fail.
Awesome. I like that, kind of like that perseverance, right? You're willing to take those risks, basically, to the risk is not as big, I guess is what you're saying in that. That's awesome. Really great. So have you ever been confronted with a crossroad in your business? So like a really huge challenge within your business, and how did you weigh your options and make your decisions? And I'd love to hear from Andrew regarding that.
Well, so when I first started my business, I was selling more expensive cards. And after I thought about it for a while, I realized that a lot of people aren't willing to spend as much money on cards. And so I decided I want to give more value to the customer. And so I really approached the issue from a customer's perspective. If somebody wants to support me, I want to give them a good value for their money. And so I switched my business model to selling less expensive cards, but in larger quantities. And so I think it's important to look at the situation from a customer's mindset, and that'll help you make those tough decisions.
Well, a couple months ago, a store approached me and they wanted to buy my soap. They asked me if I did wholesaling and private labeling. And I didn't know if that was what I wanted for my business, if that was my image, if I wanted to sell my soap under someone else's name, and if I could keep up with the orders while attending school. And so I had to think about what was best for me, what was best for my business, like what will help me in the future, what just benefits me now. Eventually, I decided that I would do the wholesaling and private labeling because my goal is to get healthy, all-natural soap accessible for everyone. And so the best way to do that is to have my soap in a variety of places all around the country and to make it more accessible.
Awesome. That's really great. Love that. So how do you primarily market your maker business in today's digital world?
So selling my products online is actually new to me. I have a Facebook page that I was posting on last year, and I still continue to post on it this year. But I actually started my own Etsy shop a couple months ago. So it benefits me in the way that I don't have to worry about fairs currently with the pandemic. There aren't fairs going on because it's safety risk. And so when I can sell online, I can still make money, but I'm putting myself in safety, and I'm also keeping others in safety as well.
Awesome. Anybody else using social media right now to really get the word out about their business?
I am. I'm posting on Facebook. I'm trying out some new ads and different techniques. And I sell on Etsy, and I've been doing sales to see what attracts customers.
That's awesome. That's really, really great to hear. So this is a fun little question that I would love to know from you all. If you weren't running your business right now, what other career would you explore?
So I actually want to go into, I want to go to college for business. That has been a goal of mine since I was really young. I wanted to go into business because it opens so many pathways for me. I could go into business for fashion design, for small business owning. I could help out big businesses. So if I weren't gonna run this business, I think I would still be in business. I'd just be doing it for different things.
For me, I've always wanted to run a business just like Maile. It's been my dream since I was like 3 or 4. But one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be a National Geographic explorer that takes pictures of wildlife.
That's awesome. What about you, Julia?
Well, I always wanted to be an actress, but I recently started my business because Hannah's actually my sister, and she started it before me, and I thought it was so cool. But I originally wanted to be an actress, but now I want to own a business. So
That's awesome. Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Maile said. Like, I'm very interested in business, kind of like financial stuff. So I've learned about like investing and stuff like that. But overall, like economics is definitely one of my interests. And so either way, I think I'd be doing something around that.
That's really, really neat. So business has stolen your hearts, right?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So what are some of your business goals that you have for the next 5 years?
I guess one of my upcoming business goals is I'm currently working on a way to make backpacks. So I have been doing multiple prototypes, but they are so much more difficult than they seem because there are so many parts to them. So in the next 5 years, well, hopefully in the next 5 months, I will have a solid backpack pattern that I can work off of, and I can start making backpacks.
That's really cool. Anybody else has some goals that they have some for their business? Andrew?
Well, one goal, as I kind of talked about before, is to build an Etsy presence. So I think it'd be really cool to be able to constantly drive sales through Etsy, like just using Etsy marketing. And another goal as well is to start selling at some stores and farmers markets. I think that that's a great opportunity to market your brand in person and really give off the brand that you want to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with all that being said, what is the thing that keeps motivating you? What keeps you motivated in running your business? Julia?
Well, as you already know, like I said before, the reason I started my dog business was the dog that hates treats. He's horrible with training. It was honestly really bad. It doesn't seem that bad when there's a dog who doesn't like dog treats, but it is awful. It is second to having them not be able to potty train. It's actually probably worse than that because you need treats to potty train them. And so my motivation is probably just knowing that my business, if I keep it running, there's other people who have this problem and their dogs don't like dog treats, and it's probably really hard for them too. So that's my motivation.
Awesome.
My motivation is thinking about my future and what my business will be like if I work hard at it, if I do my best, and if I get up in the morning and make soap when I have something better to do. And just thinking about how my business will grow and what I can accomplish if I just keep working hard.
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying. I think a big motivation is since I'm super interested in it, I definitely want to pursue this business later in life. And I've learned so much from just running a business. There's so many things that's just hard to learn by reading books and stuff like that. And it's all really interesting, and I enjoy the details of it.
With that being said, I know that yes, motivation can keep us going, but there are times where we hit, a wall sometimes. So what has been your biggest failure in your business, and how did you react? Julia?
Well, my second marketplace, sadly, it was online because of COVID, and it was really hard to market for that because you just had to post your pictures, and then that's all the marketing you could do. You couldn't have people walking by and be like, hey, and get them into a conversation and talk them into getting your product. You can't do that. So I only made one sale, and that was a pretty big failure.
Awesome. So so you're all in school right now, and so how do you organize and prioritize your time on a daily basis, especially right now attending school? And I know a lot of you aren't necessarily doing in person, but you could be doing virtual, and I don't know how much work you're all receiving from that right now. So how do you organize and prioritize your time?
Well, I am actually homeschooled, and so sometimes I can either do a lot of subjects and 1 week, and then the week before the whatever I'm making dog treats for markets, my mom just lets me work on dog treats and do some school if I save up and do a whole bunch of school the week before and stuff before that.
So, Andrew?
For me, because it's been online, I've it's definitely been a little bit less rigorous so far. Like we've had a little bit less homework and school gets out a little earlier, but during regular school, it's definitely challenging. Like sometimes I might have to stay up a little bit later making cards if I have a big order coming up, or on the weekends, like not having as much free time and just working through it. Although one thing is I do think if I end up like at a certain point, I may end up switching to selling my cards or not making them all by myself. And I think that's definitely a good option to consider as school can potentially get harder and stuff. I think there's challenges with that, like quality control and those types of things. But that's definitely something I'm going to look into as I expand my business further.
I agree. I'm on online school too, but I play sports, so I have practice, and I do theater, so I have rehearsals. I have little to none free time because I have to balance my business with all of these other things. And I will stay up to like 9 or 10 o'clock at night sewing, just so that then I have enough product to show off and so that then I can sell. But like it's still fun, so I still find time for it.
Awesome. So you all made some really good points, especially with work. And Andrew, you stated kind of like wanting to kind of find a manufacturing company to do your work. And so that kind of really goes right into my next question. Is there a point in your business when you think you'll have to stop making and hire others to do the manufacturing in order for your business to grow? And if so, when do you think that point will be? Like, when is that point?
For me, I want my business to grow to that point, because when I have to start hiring employees and when I have to start making or having people make my soap for me, it's when my business is big. It's when I start selling in more stores than I can handle and things like that. So I hope that at some point I will get to that.
Awesome.
So I currently have 2 product lines, and that is a lot to handle because there are so many bags in each product line that I have to manage, and I have to make them all so that then if I don't sell out of that. So I think I'm working on a 3rd product line right now. So once I think I finish this one, I might start to ask for a little bit of help. I know one of my neighbors, or not one of my neighbors, one of my friends, she sews, so I might get her help on some of my bags.
Awesome. So all of you currently right now, you make it yourselves. Like you don't have like employees, I guess, helping you make your products, correct?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
All right. So going into the product line question, have you all thought about diversifying your product lines? And if so, how have you approached that topic? I know, Maile, we could start with you since you've kind of already started doing that and having different product lines. Like, how did you come to that? How did you approach that?
So my first product line was all about fashion because I have so many just fun, weird fabrics that I can use, and it's just, they're better for like going out at night or traveling. But I also noticed a need for some eco-friendly products. I have my produce bags actually right here. I started making these because I did notice there was too much plastic on the streets, especially with grocery bags. So I started making those, and I just started to realize that there's like, I needed some way to give back to the community. So I started my eco-friendly product line.
Awesome. Hannah, go ahead.
For me, I only have 1 product line right now, but I'm thinking about adding another one. I'm thinking about doing more skincare, like lotions and other things like that. And I was also thinking about adding like gift baskets from marketplaces, like holiday themed or birthday themed. And I had to consider like what goes into a gift bag. What would people want to buy as a gift? So right now I'm considering adding lotions to that.
How about you, Julia? Is there any like product line that you're trying to diversify into, add another product line?
Well, I'm also thinking about adding another product line, little dog clothes, because my sister's, Hannah taught me how to, knit, and my sisters are helping me learn how to sew because we have a sewing machine. So I was thinking of maybe going like little dog clothes and stuff like that.
Awesome. Andrew, are you thinking about diversifying?
Well, for me, I don't think I'm thinking about like expanding into a totally different one. I'm more thinking about expanding the current one that I have, like to get more designs. For example, I have a Colorado pack, but I think it'd be cool to have potentially like a New York pack, because a lot of people love New York City, or like San Francisco, and to expand into like just, I guess, vary up what products I offer.
Awesome. So as a maker, how have you been able to successfully complete the other aspects of the business? So we've heard you all talk about like being the ones making it primarily, and doing the marketing or going out and doing all the sales. But what about the financing or the operations part, or the customer service, or the shipping? How have you been able to successfully complete those other aspects?
For me, I love every part of the business. When I was little, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I couldn't decide. I wanted to run a business, but like, did I want to do marketing? Did I want to do accounting? What part of the business did I want to do? And I realized if I start my own business, I can do every part. So it's relatively easy for me because that's what I want to do. That's partially why I started a business. But how I learn how to do those things is I read. I read my parents' financial books. I read accounting. I read marketing books. So most of my free time, I read.
How do you expect the maker movement in Denver to affect your business, if at all?
I think the maker movement in Denver will affect my business largely, because more people starting businesses raises awareness of these local startups, and more stores want to sell local products from young entrepreneurs. So it makes it easier for me to get my products into stores.
Yeah, I agree with what Hannah said. I think that a lot of stores like to display local products from young entrepreneurs. It's a cool story for them to tell, and then they can say that they support local and small businesses. And so I think that you are more likely to get into stores as a small business.
Awesome. So before we part ways, I would love for you all to impart some of your knowledge and just some of your advice that you would give someone who's thinking about starting a business. So what's one piece of advice that you'd give someone thinking about starting a business? And let's start with Andrew.
Well, I think that it's important to just go for it. I mean, it can seem like there's a lot of details you got to figure out along the way, and they can sometimes be overwhelming. But if you always say you're going to start it soon, but then you might never end up doing it. So I would just say, just get started, and you can kind of figure it out as you go. There's plenty of people you can ask questions. So really just go for it.
Do something that you love. It's no fun unless it's something that you love. If you go into a business for dog walking, but you don't like dogs, it's not going to be fun. So you're not going to continue your business. It's not going to go well. So find something that you love and make that into your business.
For me, it's don't be afraid. Just try something new. If there's some big opportunity, it might seem scary, it might seem hard. You might not want to do it, just go for it and try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can try again, do something new. Just get out there and try it.
Well, my advice would be if you do something and you don't think it works and you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Everyone makes mistakes. It's fine if you need to ask for help.
I love that. I'm sure our entrepreneurs, even our adult entrepreneurs, are really going to take that in and admire that, because it's very true. So before we part ways, I would love for you all to let us know, how can we reach you if someone wants to buy a product, or even to like contact you in some shape or form of give us a website or a social media page. We'd love to know, how can we reach you? We'll start with Hannah.
Yeah, so you can find me on Etsy. If you just search Simply Denver Soap Co., all one word, you can find my shop. And you can go to Facebook and search Simply Denver Soap Co. And then you can contact me by emailing simplydenversoapco@gmail.com.
Awesome. Julia?
Well, you can find me at Youth Biz Marketplaces and Facebook at Olaf's Dog Cookies, and Instagram at the same thing.
Miley?
I'm almost the same as Hannah. You can find me on Etsy at Sewing with Smiles. You can find me on Facebook at Sewing with Smiles. And you can either message me off of Facebook, or you can email me at sewingwithsmilesbymiley@gmail.com.
And Andrew?
You can find my Etsy page if you go to adesignsdenver.com. You can also email me at andrew@adesignsdenver.com. And then my Instagram page is adesignsdenver.
Awesome. Well, it's been such a pleasure getting to talk to you all and really seeing how what you're doing in the maker community, and how you're coming up and how you're using your resources to really help your business propel. Also, if you have any questions regarding any of these businesses, feel free to contact us. You can go on our website at yacenter.org, or you can contact me as well. Maite Wantwadi at MWANTWADI@yacenter.org.